Hey guys, and happy Friday. So today is the last video in duping through the holidays, and I'm making a Dollar Tree version of these trees. So for the first, not for the first thing you're gonna need is some Dollar Tree foam board. Now I use two for each layer, and I just glued them together, and I just used like regular tacky glue in between the two foam boards. Then you just cut them down to size. I also used some of these Dollar Tree signs. I just took the pictures off of them. You can use these cake boards that they are selling now and just cut off the little scallop part of it, or you can go to like Michael's or Joann and they have cake boards there. You can use cardboard, so many different things you can use, but this foam board worked perfectly, especially once I did the two layers. And I did, I believe, 18, 14, and 11 inches. Then I used these fabric refresher bottles. I just cut the top off of them, but you can use anything, a Pringles container. These are the rolls from the Cricut vinyl. I just, you can use so many different things. So anything that you find, wood, PVC, anything like that would work great. But I thought these fabric refresher bottles worked great because they were wider, so it gave me a little bit more stability. Then what I'm going to do is use this goop. It's just like E6000. It's a little bit stronger as far as the odor, but it works just as good. So, whatever you want to use, you don't want to just use hot glue though, because it's going to come apart. So definitely if it's something that you want to kind of be a little bit more durable, definitely use something other than just hot glue. And I'm going to do the combination just so I can get the, quick hold and the long-term hold. But again, you can make these the different levels or the tiers on this thing with whatever you want. But this foam board doubled up, glued together, worked great. It's really sturdy, gives it a lot of, um, gives you some leeway. Like you can make it whatever size you want, and you can use different things to kind of get the different sizes down. You can make your own sizes. You can do whatever you want. So I did 3 different levels, and what I did was went ahead and glued both of the refresher bottles like in the middle there. And right now I'm just marking it off just to kind of make sure I get it as close to the middle as possible. But if you want to measure it out and make sure you get it exactly in the middle, it's up to you. Again, I don't really measure a whole a whole lot of stuff, but I try to, be as consistent and as measured as possible. But at some point here I realized that I should have painted my containers before I glued them down. And I think you'll see I probably if I remember correctly, I kind of stop and look at it like, oh, I should have painted them. So this is when you should probably paint your bottles or whatever you're using as like the middle tier there, or the stand or the post or whatever you want to call it. This is when I realized I probably should have painted them, but whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this to measure the middle. And I think this is the one that I kind of messed up a little bit, but it was okay. You really can't tell once you decorate everything and put everything together. And I think for using all Dollar Tree items, I think this came out great. And I think the total, as far as um, the actual tree itself, let's see. So I spent, oh, okay. And so before I go into that, I went ahead and I used these Dollar Tree signs to add a little bit more stability. They were a lot more stable when I added this, because I tried using just the foam board and just kind of building it up that way. And it just didn't feel as sturdy and as, as just didn't feel right. It felt like it was going to topple over and whatnot. So I was like, well, how can I make it stronger? How can I make sure that it stays up without having to screw anything in or anything like that, which would be difficult. But I decided to just kind of put another layer on there, and that worked great. It worked out perfectly. Nothing toppled over. Everything is holding on perfectly. And now I'm just going to take this goop or whatever, again, whatever glue you're going to use, you're going to just put a bunch of it on there, and then I'm going to put hot glue on the pieces where there's no goop. So just to, get that short term quick hold and then that long term hold. You just want to do this, so everything sticks together and you make sure that everything is in there. And this really, really makes a big difference as far as like how well this holds together. I was really surprised. And then I did take hot glue and just kind of went around all of the borders there just to make sure that everything stays on and, doesn't fall apart. And I hope that I'm explaining this well and you can kind of see. If I'm not, you can see what I'm doing and see what I'm talking about here. But there's my little dog, Jojo, my old guy. It's not my dog, it's one of my kids that that ends up in the way here. He kept trying to come over, but I had so much stuff on the other side there that I didn't want him like walking that way, so I had to kind of push him out the way. But anyway, so this is what it looks like all put together, and I did paint it. That's at the point when I realized, oh my goodness, I have to paint it. So I did paint it. That's why it looks wet. So I just kind of put it to the side to dry, and I'm going to work on my tree. So this is just one of these tinsel trees from the Dollar Tree. And I just took the tinsel off of it and I used the Dollar Tree garland and just went around it with the garland. You can leave it with the tinsel on there if that's the look you're going for, or if you want to put beads on it, however you want to decorate it, whatever you want to use. If you want to use fabric or, whatever it is that you want to use. There's my little guy. um, you can use whatever you want to use, but I wanted it to look like a tree. So I just went ahead, took a piece of this garland. This was like leftover garland that I had from like last year. And I just went ahead and wrapped this around the plastic frame. And these are so easy to work with because they have the little like teeth on there. So everything just kind of holds on. You don't have to use glue or anything unless you want to. But this kind of gives you the versatility. You can change it if you want to, put lights around it. You can do whatever you want to do to make it match your decor or match the theme that you're going with, for your Christmas decor. So again, I just wrapped it all around. I had to use a little extra piece because that one piece that I had cut out, like I said, it was a leftover piece and it just wasn't long enough. So and I'm sorry I'm out of the shot there. I thought this is such a weird angle. I thought that I was in the shot, but I wasn't. But anyway, just wrapped it around, nothing, major. So then I'm going to go ahead and start working on oh wait, I'm going to show you. These are the little Dollar Tree trees. I ended up getting 2 of them, and what I did was I pushed all the little like the limbs from one to the right and then the other ones to the left. That way I could put them together, and then I just kind of tied them together with a piece of the garland, and it made it look a lot fuller. So that's another option if you can't find any of those tinsel trees, or you can use whatever you have. All right, so then I'm going to use some more of this Dollar Tree garland, and I think at the end of it, I ended up using altogether either 3 or 4 garland. So that's what I used for this one. And guys, today I'm participating in the Duping Through the Holidays collaboration, and this is amazing. I'm joined by a bunch of other very, very talented creators, and we are offering a $100 gift card giveaway. And all you have to do is answer the question on everybody's video to be entered. And I'll give you my question here in just a little bit, but be sure to visit everybody's channel and answer their question. And then there is also a plaid giveaway. This is separate, and you just have to go to everybody's video and comment plaid to be entered to that one. So next thing you do is you get your garland and you're going to wrap it around each of the tiers and just use hot glue to kind of stick it on there. And that's it. I just did that to all 3 tiers, and I'm not going to show you me doing all 3 tiers, but you'll see here how I did it in just a second, because apparently I don't know how to get into the into the camera shot there. But if you're coming over here from the playlist, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And if you're new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And again, be sure to comment down below with, let me see, what is my question going to be this year? You know what? For this one, what is on your Christmas list for this year? Like, what is your You know, if you could ask Santa for one thing this year, what would it be? Comment down below. And again, be sure to visit everybody's video, answer their questions so that you're entered into the giveaway. And if you want to be entered into the plaid one, you have to separately comment plaid to be entered into that one. And you know what? Thank you so much, Brandy, for putting this collaboration together. You are amazing. This was an amazing collaboration. I had so much fun. I love doing dupes. And I mean, this was great. So thank you so much, Brandy. Be sure to check out Brandy's channel. I have all her information along with the playlist in my description box so that you can check all of that out. And this is our last video, sadly, for the collaboration, but you know, we still have a playlist. It's a running playlist. The videos for this week will be at the top of the playlist. So you don't have to watch all the videos again unless you want to, but today's or this week's videos will be at the top of the playlist. So just look for the ones that say Pinterest inspired, and those are the ones for this week. So the next thing that I did was put lights on each tier, and they were just like regular string lights from the Dollar Tree, the ones that I think have 100 lights, if I'm not mistaken, or 50 maybe, I can't remember. But it's just a small box that they have, and they fit right around there perfectly. Now, I will say that for if you want to do something like this, I would recommend using the little what are those? The fairy lights, because then that way it's a little bit easier to display and you don't have to worry about all the wires hanging out. But I only had one pack of the fairy lights. I couldn't find my other ones, so I just used these lights. If I find my fairy lights, I'm definitely going to switch them out because I think it just looks a lot better and not having all these little lights sticking out. But I think it still looks great. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is add my little village in there, and these are all from the Dollar Tree. And if you'll notice, I have a nativity scene at the top. I end up switching that out because I didn't really like the way that it looked. As you know, I wanted that to be up there, but it just didn't look right. So I ended up switching it out for the tree and putting a little train set that I got. And I think I got the train set from Dollar General and it was still $1. But I ended up adding some snow in here, and that was all that I did, guys. Let's see the finished product. I love it. And here you go.